nakalagay naman sa Constitution ang obligasyon, ang duty ng Senate is to try and decide. Totoo na walang nakalagay to carry over, pero hindi rin sinabi na matitigil siya pag natapos ang session. Siguro, pero sa ngayon, Senate, kailangan ko munang tignan mabuti kung saan nanggaling yung paglagay ng kung ano for my personal consumption po ito kung paano nailagay ang House as the complainant.
Hi mga boss, another video, another issue tayo. At eto na nga, at ang Senado delaying tactics talaga sa impeachment ni VP Sara Duterte. Hanggang sa makakaya talagang matatagalan ang pag-umpisa ito. Kaya bago mag-umpisa ang video, huwag kalimutan mag-like, share, and subscribe mga boss.
Adopted the report of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability on June 10. And then the committee report was furnished to the Ombudsman they received it on June 16. Nita. So, it appears that the Ombudsman acted upon the recommendation of the committee. What I know is that the House or the committee itself did not file any complaint, but it appears that the Ombudsman acted upon the recommendation of the committee.
Pag ganun po ba ang complainant, House of Representatives and Good Government?
Dun sa ano kasi sa heading ng nakita ko nakalagay yung committee I still have to read about it and review my limited knowledge of the legal processes, no? Pero I will get back to you on that. On your question on kung ano ang implikasyon nito sa impeachment, hindi ko pa rin yan masasagot. We have to talk with the yung legal and also the panel of prosecutors. But just the same, dapat magtuloy-tuloy pa rin ang impeachment trial.
Pero hindi naman po ito mai-consider na forum shopping, kung baga.
Unang-una, hindi ang House ang nag-file ng complaint. So, ang in-initiate lang ng House ay yung impeachment trial through the transmission of the articles of impeachment. The committee report, the action of the Ombudsman was upon the recommendation of a committee report from the House of Representatives. So, we are looking forward pa rin for the impeachment trial to proceed.
Ma'am, meron din pong statement si Representative Erwin Tulfo regarding the possibility of refiling the impeachment complaint in the 20th Congress. Parang meron daw po siyang narinig na ganong usap-usapan. Can you confirm po if merong ganong pong plano?
Saan kaya niya narinig? Kasi ako nandito din ako, wala akong naririnig. The House transmitted the articles of impeachment already. We are awaiting for the Senate to act on its duty to proceed with the impeachment trial. That is what we are focusing on.
And sa position po ba ng House, kailangan pa ng refiling? Bakit po or bakit hindi?
Ngayon, ang tinututukan ng House through the prosecution panel is the preparation of the impeachment trial on the articles of impeachment that was already transmitted by the House of Representatives.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Bibian. Next up is Mela Lismoras from PTV4.
Hi, ma'am. Follow up lang po kay Ate Vivian kanina. Sabi nyo, hindi ang House ang complainant. So, sino po dapat yung complainant, ma'am?
Well, the Ombudsman can initiate investigations on their own. So, again, it was an initiative of the Ombudsman acting upon the recommendation of the House Committee. So, yun ang kaya kong sagutin sa ngayon.
Opo. And ma'am, follow up lang po dun sa video statement nyo kagabi. Sabi nyo, pakiusap lang sa tagapagsalita ng Senado, huwag sanang lituhin ang publiko, huwag gawing dahilan ng isang clerical detail para ipasa ang sisi sa Kamara. Can you just further elaborate po?
Mukhang kasing gustong gamitin ng ating spokesperson ng impeachment court na dahilan yung pag-serve ng entry of appearance that was unlabeled, untitled when it was sent here sa House of Representatives. Hindi 'yon ang pwedeng maging cause ng delay. Again, as I said, the entry of appearance is not a requirement for the impeachment trial to proceed. Ang obligasyon, ang duty ng House of Representatives doon sa proseso ng impeachment trial ay nagampanan na natin. Ang inaantay na lang yung Senado para mag-proceed sa trial. So, yun ang tingin ko na wag natin lituhin yung mga tao na papasa sa Kamara ang dahilan kung bakit wala pa rin tayong nakikitang impeachment trial sa ngayon. Hindi po ang Kamara ang nagpapaantala ng impeachment trial. In fact, handa na at patuloy na naghahanda ang ating prosecution panel para ipresenta ang mga ebidensya doon sa
Formidable at mga respetadong abogado po yung nasa defense team so paghandaan na lamang po nila yon at yun ang awayin po nila at wag po yung impeachment court. For the record lang din ma'am, coming from the House spokesperson, inaaway po ba ng Kamara ang Senado?
Wala naman kaming inaaway. Kami lang ay ini-emphasize lang namin kung ano ang naging tungkulin namin at nagawa na namin, inaantay na namin na gawin ng Senado ang kanila namang obligasyon at responsibilidad at tungkulin doon sa saligang batas patungkol sa impeachment proceedings, lalong-lalo na sa pagtuloy ng impeachment trial. Hindi po kami nangaaway. Siguro din, ang ating spokesperson, wag din magsalita bilang parang sa depensa. Do not speak for the defense. Speak for the impeachment court.
Opo, and last follow-up na lang ma'am, kasi ayun nga, na-interview kasi na-interview din si Attorney Odi Bukoy sa isang show sa ABS. At ang sabi nga niya dito, parang parang lawyering for VP Sara yung panig nga ng Senado. May sinabi siya, if you will recall, I heard a soundbite from the statement of the Senate spokesperson, Attorney Tongol. Sinabi niya, if I were the Vice President, I will file a motion to dismiss. Why is he hinting? Why is he telegraphing? Hindi po ba? So ano po yung masasabi ng Kamara tungkol dito? At paano kaya to makakaapekto kung may mga ganitong stand yung Senate Impeachment Court? Paano ito makakaapekto sa prosekusyon?
Siguro ang ating spokesperson ng impeachment court ay ini-echo lang yung kasi transparent impeachment court na handa tanggapin ang ebidensya, handang pakinggan ang ebidensya at magdesisyon ayon sa ebidensya na kaya nating na ilalahad at ipepresent ng prosecution panel pag tinuloy na nila ang impeachment trial.
Okay, thank you po.
Thank you, Mela. We will now hear a question from Billy Vegas of Abante Politico.
Attorney, magandang hapon po. Attorney, hingi lang po ako ng reaction doon sa sinabi ni Senator Amy Marcos. Sabi po niya, bakit ako na senador ang hinahanapan mo ng aksyon? Yung amo mo dyan nakatira, bakit hindi mo tanungin? Lahat kayo sa akin nakatingin. Sana ako na lang ang nagpresidente.
Una, bilang senador, kasama din naman sa tungkulin niya yung pagbalangkas ng budget ng bansa. Galing sa House, papunta sa Senate. Kaya nung kinwestiyon niya yung kung ano yung nangyayari sa pangangalaga ng San Juanico Bridge, sinagot lang natin na alam ko, sigurado ako. Based on records, meron din namang mga pondong nailagay for the maintenance ng San Juanico Bridge since 2018 mismo advocated by the congressman, the representative of the 1st District of Leyte, para nga mismo dun sa San Juanico Bridge na yon. Ngayon, kung tatanungin niya kung ano yung nangyayari, dapat lang tanungin din bilang senador, ano din ang nagawa niya para sa San Juanico Bridge. Total, hindi pwedeng tanong lang ng tanong eh. Kailangan nagtatrabaho. Lalong-lalo na, malapit din naman sa puso niya ang San Juanico Bridge, ang Leyte. So, instead na maghanap ng ituturo para sisihin, dapat nagtutulungan, both from the House at sa Senado. According to records in 2018, nagkaroon ng pondo para sa San Juanico Bridge of 27 million, noong 2019, 22 million, 2021, 105 million, 2022, 90 million, 2023, 150 million. 2026 ay may proposal pa lang na madadagdagan yung pondo to 400 million para nga sa pangangalaga. Ito ay initiative ng House of Representatives. Gusto din natin malaman, ano din ang initiative ng Senado? Total, gusto din nila malaman kung ano ang nangyayari, nasa posisyon sila para gumawa ng solusyon, hindi maghanap ng sisi.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Billy. Lines Capanti from GMA Online is now recognized.
Good afternoon po, ma'am. Yung balikan ko lang po yung sa ombudsman. Tama po ba yung interpretation na you see the ombudsman's action as acting upon the recommendations, not on the complaint?
It is stated, I read it dun sa reports, that it is stated in the order to file a counter affidavit that it was acting on the recommendation of the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability.
So, pero kasi nakalagay din po dun sa first page, complainant yung committee. So, that's why
yun yung
medyo
heading nga yun eh.
Opo.
Pero again, kung merong naging complaint na final ang committee, wala po akong pagkakaalam na may complaint na final. Ang meron po kaming pinadala sa ombudsman ay yung pag-furnish sa ombudsman nung committee report na na-adapt ng plenary nung huling 19th Congress. So, the heading may state that way, but the body states otherwise, that it was the ombudsman acting on the recommendation of the committee.
Okay. Ma'am, follow-up lang po. The ombudsman's tenure, the current ombudsman's tenure is about to end by end of July, I understand. So, do you find the timing, of apparent motu proprio investigation? Do you think the current ombudsman has enough time to conduct the probe?
Well, the person will not be the one to do the investigation. It is the body that will conduct the investigation, the ombudsman as the institution. So, if the institution starts its investigation, it will proceed regardless of the personalities in it.
Last na lang po. Are you not worried that, maybe there's a possibility na i-dismiss ng ombudsman yung findings ng committee? Mag-release sila ng ruling na this has no basis even before the impeachment trial could proceed?
The recommendation of the committee, naniniwala naman din ako na nung naglabas sila ng recommendation na yon ay meron silang sufficient evidence to make that recommendation from the hearings that they conducted. So I will leave it at that. Again, wala pa kaming kopya nung order. So hindi ko rin masasagot yung ibang matters tungkol dun sa issue ng ombudsman.
Thank you, Lenesca. Isa Bendaño Umali from GMA DCBB. Please proceed with your questions.
Magandang hapon po, Attorney. Your reaction lang po kasi bumiyahe po si Vice President Sara Duterte papuntang Australia at kabilang daw po sa itinerary niya, sasama siya or makikilahok siya dun sa rally, Free Duterte Now. So ano pong reaction dito ng House? Thank you po.
Sarah all. Pero alam nyo, hindi ko alam kung if that is an official travel or if it's a personal travel, but lagit lagi bilang halal na opisyal na bayan, yung oras mo na ginugugol sa loob at labas ng ating bansa, at ito man ay pang personal o opisyal, dapat para sa taong bayan, hindi sa personal na interes. Para hindi nasasayang ang tiwala, ang pondo, at binigay na mandato ng Pilipino sa atin.
Thank you, Isa. Marian Enriquez from TV5.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am, I just have to ask. Kasi has this always been the practice, like yung questions about the ombudsman filing na ang complainant daw ay ang good government? Kasi I don't know kung ano yung nangyari doon sa Quadcom report na nirekomendahan din na filean po ng crimes against humanity paglabag daw po sa Republic Act 9851. Sina former President Rodrigo Duterte, De La Rosa. I don't know. Paano po ba yun, ma'am? Also, do you have any info about that? Kung yun ba, inaksyon na ng ombudsman?
Wala pa akong information tungkol dyan. Ang alam ko lang, dun sa recommendation ng Committee on Good Government, may listahan naman ng mga recommendation of criminal, civil, and administrative cases. I cannot speak on the history of the Ombudsman on initiating their own investigations based on various committee recommendations. But we will, tatandaan natin, hindi lang ang ombudsman ang na-furnish ng committee reports. All other agencies, katulad ng Department of Justice, I think DBM was also furnished. So, different agencies may initiate their own investigations on the matter based on the recommendations of a particular committee.
Thank you. Ma'am, would like to ask, though ilang beses na rin to naging topic at paulit-ulit na, kasi meron din ulit statement si Majority Floor Leader, Senator Francis Tolentino, na sinasabi niya raw po yung impeachment complaint, itong impeachment case against Vice President Sara Duterte, it dies, lapses, terminates with the lifespan of the 19th Congress. Forthwith is the command to the 19th Congress daw. Sabi niya, show me a constitutional instruction, giving them the mandate to continue, show me where we can find the words carry over. What can you say about this, ma'am?
Very clear, well, mukhang dissenting opinion po yung binibigay ni Senator Tolentino. Nakalagay naman sa Constitution ang obligasyon, ang duty ng Senate is to try and decide. Totoo na walang nakalagay to carry over, pero hindi rin sinabi na matitigil siya pag natapos ang session. We have to remember the Senate is a continuing body kung tutuusin. So if there's an institution that can continue their duties beyond the sessions, the Congress, mukhang ang Senate din yun. Again, the House maintains its position that the Senate may try and decide the impeachment proceedings. Tuloy-tuloy po ito. walang tigil hanggang matapos ang pagpresent ng ebidensya, matapos ang pagkakataon ng depensa na mapagtanggol ang kanyang sarili, hanggang matapos yung pagkakataon ng mga senator judges na mag-decide dun sa merits ng kaso.
Mambalikan ko lang po what you mentioned earlier. You said, do not speak for the defense, speak for the impeachment court. I think this was regarding to spokes tungkol ng impeachment court. You also reacted on yung sinabi po ni spokes Bukoy doon nga kay against tungkol. Sabi mo, as a spokes, you speak for the body that you are representing. Yun yung tingin ni Attorney Bukoy. Kayo rin po ba? Tingin nyo, yun yung ginagawa ni Tonggol? He's speaking for the defense team.
Well, yun yung lumalabas dun sa pag-question niya eh. In fact, yung I think nabanggit din to ni Attorney Bukoy, yung hindi pagtanggap ng House dun sa dokumento na walang kahit na anong nakalagay na label, wala naman kaming narinig mula sa defense team. Ang sumita ay ang spokesperson. So, hindi naman, in normal courts, hindi naman i-call ng court pag hindi tinanggap ng isang party yung entry of appearance. So, again, wag ipasa sa kamera yung paninisi na lalong-lalo na for an entry of appearance, yung hindi pagtuloy. Kasi yun yung ini-insinuate niya na dahil hindi natanggap ng House, nadadagdagan yung pagkaantala. Hindi naman din yun. Alam naman natin na hindi yun dahilan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Marian. Rose from UNTV.
Good afternoon po, Attorney. Doon pa rin po sa directive ng Ombudsman. Nabanggit niyo po kanina na hindi po ang House ang complainant, pero bilang tumugon po yung Ombudsman sa recommendation ng House, Good Government and Public Accountability, your reaction? Kasi June 10 na ipasa, yun pong pag-approve ng plenary. June 17, na-receive ng Ombudsman yung committee report, and after 3 days, they acted upon it.
Well, the ombudsman should perform its duty. So, we will see what will happen sa ginagawa nilang investigation.
Tama rin po na dun po sa recommendation ng House po, nakalagay po yung various complaints na nire-recommend yung ma-file against the Vice President and her staff. Tama po ba? Ano nga po yung charges na yun?
Basahin ko yung recommendations nasa paragraph 10, subparagraphs A to H. Again, this is not just for the ombudsman to initiate. We furnished all other agencies, so kung sino yung mas appropriate agency to conduct their investigations, ito sila. Letter A, technical malversation under Article 220 of the Revised Penal Code against Vice President Sara Duterte, SDOs Ms. Acosta and Mr. Fajarda in relation to Article 217 on the presumption of malversation for having used confidential funds for purposes other than for confidential activities. Paragraph B, falsification under Article 171 of the Revised Penal Code for making it appear that funds were disbursed to actual individuals where acknowledgement receipts were questionable, ink, penmanship, and existence of the recipients. Letter C, Paragraph C, use of falsified documents under Article 172 of the Revised Penal Code, evident in the use of the falsified acknowledgement receipts. Paragraph D, perjury under Article 183 of the Revised Penal Code against Vice President Sara Duterte and Ms. Acosta as the notarized certification contained a statement that the funds were used for necessary and legal purposes in relation to the agency's confidential activities as signed by the head of agency and special dispersing officers. bribery under Article 210 and 211 of the revised Penal Code against Vice President Sara Duterte and Attorney Fajardo being the individuals who offered the white envelopes containing money other than salaries to employees of the Department of Education, corruption of public officers under Article 212 of the revised Penal Code against DepEd employees involved in the illegal disbursement and improper liquidation of subject confidential funds. Paragraph G, plunder under Republic Act 7080 against Vice President Duterte, DepEd officials, Mr. Fajardo, Attorney Fajardo, Major General Mempin, Lieutenant Colonel Nolasco, Colonel La Chica, Yusek Sevilla, and OVP officials, Attorney Lopez, Mr. Ortonio, Ms. Acosta, Colonel La Chica, and John Dos for amassing at least 50 million pesos in public funds, while the confidential funds misused amounts to 612.5 million. And the wheel of conspiracy in Arroyo versus People has been established during the committee hearings. And finally, subparagraph H, betrayal of public trust and culpable violation of the Constitution.
Yeah. Ma'am, is it correct to say na yung mga evidence na nakalap ng good government with regards to this charges, same din po yung attachment ng House Prosecution Panel sa impeachment trial?
I cannot answer that. I do not know. I have no personal knowledge on the pieces of evidence that will be presented in the impeachment trial.
But are you looking forward to na mapapanagot si VP Sara and yung mga sangkot dun sa misuse, alleged misuse ng confidential funds, hindi man sa impeachment court pero sa hukuman?
Dapat ang mga public officials na may misuse of public funds ay mapanagot.
Sorry, last na lang Kuya Ray. Baka po meron po kayong any updates kasi although iba yung tagapagsalitang House Prosecution Panel, pero nagpulong po sila yesterday po ba, if I'm not mistaken?
Ano
And
po
any
yun?
updates na House Prosecution Panel po?
Ano po yun?
Kung meron pong any significant updates sa mga napagkasunduan ng House Prosecution Panel sa susunod nilang hakbang kasi I believe according po kay Attorney Bukoy ay wini-weigh pa po nila yung kanila pong susunod na hakbang with regards dun po sa mga kautusan ng Senate Impeachment Court.
Again, hindi ako makakasagot regarding sa mga detalye tungkol sa impeachment trial. Mas alam po yan ni Attorney Bukoy. Pero siguro mas maganda siya yung maitatanong nyo. Definitely handa ang prosecution panel sa pag-present ng ebidensya. And I would like to think, at tingin ko din naman na mas komprehensibo yung ipe-present ng impeachment prosecution panel ng mga ebidensya. Baka nga makabuti sa ombudsman kung sila ay susubaybay sa impeachment trial.
Thank you, Rose. Are there any further questions? Okay. Big Sumintak from Net25.
Attorney, clarification lang. Kasi according to the report, the Ombudsman acted upon doon sa committee report ng House Committee on Good Government. And the House is not the direct complainant. So is it safe to say that the House of Representatives, based on the approved committee report in the plenary, is the indirect complainant on that matter?
I cannot answer that at the moment. I want to study further yung ang ibig sabihin nung nilabas ng ombudsman. Ang kaya ko lang sabihin yung mga factual na information na meron ako.
Thank you, Vic. If there are no... okay, Lenes Capante again from GMA Online. Promise yan,
Sorry. Kasi po, don't you find it suspicious that the ombudsman will identify the House as a complainant when it could have easily said that acting upon on the recommendations, we are doing this motu proprio investigation. Why did it have to identify the House as a complainant in this case?
Bakit nga, 'di ba? Pero again, ang sasagutin ko lang sa inyo yung factual na meron ako. Ang mga tanong na 'yan, tatanungin ko din.
Pero ano ba? May issue ba kung ang House of Representatives ang complainant? For the record.
Sa ngayon, again, ang ginawa lang kasi ng House is to furnish them of the committee report. Kaya gusto ko munang tignan mabuti yung saan nanggaling yung pag-identify na ang House yung complainant.
Sa record ng House, wala pa kayo na-encounter na ganito? Kaya nagtataka rin ba talaga kayo?
Ako hindi ko masasagot. So I have to confer with the House officials to check on this.
Kasi wala rin po binibigay sa media, sa ibang media outlet, wala pong binibigay na kopya yung ombudsman.
Wala din po kami.
Tatanungin niyo ba yung ombudsman, ma'am?
Wala pa po akong kopya so
Susulat kayo sa ombudsman para malinawan?
malalaman ko mamaya siguro. Aalamin ko muna kung ano yung hangga't wala akong kopya, hindi ko mapapaliwanag kung ano yung pinanggalingan nung sa ombudsman. Ang kaya ko lang masagot ay kung ano yung meron kami on record.
But what was running through your mind when you saw that document? Kasi kanina when Nacelle was asking you, bakit nga? So, ano po yung nasa isip niyo na nabasa niyan?
Well, ano yung gusto mangyari dun sa investigation siguro, pero sa ngayon kailangan ko munang tignan mabuti kung saan nanggaling yung paglagay ng kung ano for my personal consumption po ito kung paano nailagay ang House as the complainant.
Ma'am, another clarification. Since the ombudsman, inilagay nila as complainant on their motu proprio actions regarding the committee report, na according to you, as of this time, hindi kayo complainant. May pinopoint yata, if I'm not mistaken, Nacelle, na suspicious ba yun? Dahil baka ang House, because of the pending impeachment against the Vice President, forum shopping.
Kaya inuulit ko, hindi ang House ang nag-initiate ng complaint. We transmitted the committee report that was adopted by the plenary to the Ombudsman. Again, I can only give you factual information as of the moment.
One last point, ma'am. Hindi ba kayo nagdududa na Ombudsman Martires was Duterte appointees at saka retirable na siya, tapos now he is doing this, na medyo lahat kayo na surpresa din?
No comment.
Pero ma'am, nakausap niyo na sina Kong Chua and other Kongs na member ng Good Government Committee. Nagulat din ba sila? Nagtataka rin ba sila?
As far as Congressman Joel Chua, wala siyang final na complaint.
Pero anong reaction niyo, ma'am? Nagulat, nagtataka rin siya?
Again, ang alam lang ni Congressman Joel Chua, wala siyang final na complaint. Committee report, meron silang natapos.
Okay, with that, we're now wrapping up and conclude. Before we conclude, may question
Dito
pa?
wala na.
Suspicious or no?
No comment on that at the moment.
Okay, pakinggan na po na.
You were raising questions then kanina earlier, ma'am.
Again, that's for my own consumption. Bakit nga? Pero again, no comment on the question if it's suspicious. No comment I can only answer factual information at the moment.
Okay. Meron pa? Next week
Happy
daw.
Friday.
Happy Friday. Ma'am, baka may pang wakas na...
Maraming Sa media briefing ngayon, madaming nasagot pero mukhang mas maraming tanong. We are looking forward to next week. I hope we can have more answers by then. Thank you very much and have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you, House Committee, House of Representatives, spokesperson,